So, hello everybody, I'm Dr. Kurt Sternberger. I'm a medical doctor from Austria and I'm already the third time here in Pula.
Dobar dan svima, ja sam doktor iz Austrije i ovo mi je već treći put u Puli.
I stayed in Lijan every time and I appreciate it very much, the beautiful landscape and the holidays here.
Svaki put sam odsjeo u Ližnjanu i stvarno mi je ovdje jako lijepo, baš je lijepi krajolik.
And I want to tell you about my story, how I moved to the countryside in Austria.
I htio bih s vama podijeliti priču o tome kako sam se preselio u Austriji na selo.
Because I want to encourage everybody at this time to move from the cities to the countryside because we have this counsel given by the spirit of prophecy.
Jer bih htio svih ohrabriti da se presele i oni na selo kako nam je to i dala Ellen White kao prijedlog.
Especially for young families with children, it's very important to move to the countryside.
To pogotovo smatram važnim za mlade obitelji.
So I already lived in the countryside and went still to Graz, which is a bigger town in Austria. For 20 years I moved 3 days a week to the town to work there in a prison, in a great prison, as medical doctor.
Ja sam već imao priliku ići na selo, živio sam u jednom velikom gradu u Grazu i tamo bi išao 3 puta na tjedan u posjetu u zatvore.
And the other 2 days I had my private practice in the countryside, but I lived still in a town with about 4,000 people.
A druga 2 dana u tjednu sam imao prilike raditi u jednoj privatnoj ambulanti na selu.
And when there was the swine flu in the world, 2009, I began to pray that the Lord helps me to find a better place to move more to the countryside.
Kada je 2009. bila svinjska gripa, počeo sam se moliti Bogu da mi da neko bolje mjesto na selu gdje bi se mogao preseliti.
Because I had how do you call this? Fortbildung. We had a seminar with the police and with the military in 2009. And it was called Pandemics 2009, not 19, not 20, 2009.
Jer sam imao jedan seminar sa policijom i sa vojskom koje se zvao Pandemija 2009. Znači ne 2019. ili 2020. nego Pandemija 2009. godine.
So they told me, the police and the military told me how they would arrange it to circle Graz with military and nobody can go in and go out within 2 hours. They wanted to arrange it and I thought, what will I do when I move to Graz in the morning and cannot go back in the evening? And I began to pray, Lord, help me to find a better place in the countryside.
Jer su mi oni objasnili kako su imali tu ideju početi kružiti oko grada, oko Graza, svakog dana, znači za 2 sata bi oni proveli policija i vojska kružići oko grada i ja sam se zabrinula da šta ako dođe do toga da ne mogu više izaći iz grada, pa sam se počeo moliti Bogu da mi da neko novo mjesto za rad.
And in January 2019 I went to a nearby location in Kurort in Austria. How do you call Kurort in English? I don't know. Anyway, I went there. It was nearby and asked if they need a physician there, a medical doctor. It was a place where you do massage and where you do baths and physiotherapy and things like this.
Znači u siječnju 2019. godine sam imao priliku ići u jedno malo mjesto gdje su radili stvari poput masaže ili fizioterapije i tamo naći posao.
And it was for an insurance company and I already had worked there for years ago and I just went there and asked, do you need a physician?
Znači za osiguranje,
It's medical insurance, what they pay.
yeah, I know, I'm just missing the word, the creation word.
Uh-huh.
Znači, javio se toj jednoj službi osiguranja i pitao ih je da li njima potreban doktor.
So I went there, and they just were building the houses and everything they needed. And I went to this reception where the secretary was, and I asked, "Do you need a medical doctor?" And she stared at me, and like I'm a ghost, and ran away.
I tako da sam došao do te njihove ustanove i pitao ih na recepciji, dobro, da li vam je potreban doktor? I žena koja je tamo radila me pogledala kao da je vidjela duha, uplašila se i pobjegla.
And I thought, what's now? And I stood there and asked myself what's going on. And 2 minutes later, she came back and said, please sit down, please sit down. Wait a minute, the manager will come and talk to you.
Ja sam se zaprepastio, nije mi bilo jasno što se dešavalo, pa nakon nekog vremena ona se vratila i rekla mi je, evo pričekajte, samo sjednite, sad ćemo doći do vas.
And 2 minutes later, the manager came and she talked to me, and I told about my situation. And I said I want to leave the big city, and I want to go to the countryside, and I'm the leading medical doctor in a great prison. And she said, you are the leading one? I said, yes. Do you know that we need a leader?
Znači, došla je do mene onda menadžerica i ja sam joj objasnila svoju situaciju, kako sam živio u Gracu, kako sam bio glavni doktor u zatvoru i kako sam htio se preseliti na selo, i stoga sam došao kod njih i pitao ih. I menadžerica se iznenadila i rekla, vi ste glavni doktor, pa nama je baš potreban glavni doktor.
I said, no, but now I know it. And she said, well, you could come and you could be our leading medical doctor here. And so it happened that I could leave the big city.
Znači, ona me pitala, jeste vi znali da je nama baš potreban doktor? I rekao sam, ne, ali evo, ako je, ja ću vam biti to, radit ću taj posao. I stoga sam imao priliku otići iz velikog grada.
And at the very same time, we found a house in the countryside with 3,000 square meters where we can grow our vegetables and our fruits.
I onda smo imali priliku naći jedno mjesto na selu gdje sa 3000 kvadrata gdje smo imali onda priliku uzgajati voće i povrće.
And at the same time, I found a place where I could have my private office.
A i našao sam mjesto gdje mogu imati privatni office.
So, and this was for me a very important sign, because it was just in the January of 2019, and everybody knows what happened 2020 and on. And so the Lord cares for His people. I'm pretty sure. I want to encourage everyone to go to the countryside, and I want to add the Lord cares certainly also for the people who stay in the city.
Meni je ovo bilo jako veliko iskustvo kako se to desilo u siječnju 2019. godine, a evo svi znamo što se potom desilo 2020. godine, tako da sam stvarno zahvalna Bogu što sam imao priliku preseliti se na selo, i siguran sam da Bog isto tako brine za sve ljude i u gradovima.
I'm not saying that everybody must leave the city, but I'm saying that God hears prayers and He help you if you try, and if you have the possibility, then you should do it.
Ja ne želim reći da svi moramo se preseliti na selo, ostaviti gradove, ali ono što želimo je ohrabriti ljude i reći im da Bog čuje naše molitve i da ako imate želju se preseliti, evo, probajte.
Thank you very much.
Hvala puno.